great. You know, kids coming in
Oh.
there. We have Masalu.
Oh. Masaru, amigo. Masaru.
After adjusting a few hundred people at the office, the first team of Kelly, Brian, and Mike made their way to one of the local schools. They knew the chiropractors were coming, and the students were definitely excited. The staff set up chairs in the courtyard, and it was soon overrun with children. A definite lack of chiropractic care in the area meant that just about every child who sat down was suffering from subluxations.
Glasses. All these kids are subluxated. All upper cervical. Yeah, these kids are loving these adjustments. They're lining up, you know, like 8 at a time, and we're just adjusting the whole school. And these kids are loving it. Look at the smiles on their faces.
After finishing adjusting the older kids in the courtyard, the team proceeded onto the classrooms upstairs. Once the inevitable giggling fits subsided, the children were ready for their chiropractic adjustments. The first few were a little shy, but the fever soon caught on, and they wouldn't let the doctors leave until every single one of them had been adjusted.
The kids, after being adjusted, they'll all calm right down. The teachers will thank us. Relax, amiga. Gracias.
This was Kelly Polson's first time on one of these missions, and it's safe to say that it's changed his life forever.
You know, it's something that I've always wanted to do, something I've always had a passion for. One of my colleagues finally said, you know what, you can think about it forever, but until you decide to do it and make it happen, you're just going to be that guy that thinks about it. So I wanted to do it forever, and finally I just said, today it's happening this time. It was by far one of the more spectacular moments of my life as a chiropractor. Just going into that school and seeing the faces of those kids and turning some power on there was absolutely spectacular.
The school was amazing. We had 550 kids that we adjusted. We started with the teachers to introduce the chiropractic to the classroom by adjusting the teachers. Then we went on to the students, and the kids turned in the chairs, and we adjusted all upper cervical for the whole afternoon.
Of course, the day wasn't over yet. The next stop was in the very heart of Santo Domingo, a small lower school in the slums of the city where children and adults alike were lining up for chiropractico.
We're in the slums of Santo Domingo, and we're at a little kids' school now, so this is real McCoy. Some of these people are really subluxated. They've probably been working, long days, long hours, laborious work, and this is probably their first adjustment for some of these people. But what you're seeing is all sorts of labor-related problems, from neck, low back, sciatica. We've seen herniated disc today. We've seen a couple miracles as well. I'm looking for the young kids that are having some developmental problems that some parents are going to bring to us. I'm sure it's going to happen soon. Hola. You want to explain Manuel? Where's Manuel go?
Right here.
I can't see it. It's all yellow. Oh, Manuel. Hey, do you think you can explain what we're doing? Explain chiropractic?
The IDDI drivers were integral to the mission, and they did far more than just drive the trucks. They became both cultural ambassadors and interpreters.
You want to explain chiropractic to them first?
Since none of the kids spoke English, IDDS driver and guide Manuel helped to explain what was about to happen. As you can see, the children took to chiropractic like fishes to water.
We are in the slums of Santo Domingo, but hey, we're delivering chiropractic to a private school of kids and just lighting them up 2 by 2 here. So we're just probably 100 kids the next half hour. And this is our interpreter, Manuel, who explained chiropractic to them before we started adjusting.
As the older people walked by the small schoolyard, it only took a quick wave to get them inside. It was inspiring to see the smiles on the students' faces and how quickly they accepted chiropractic into their lives. Spreading the chiropractic word in a small school in the very heart of Santo Domingo was how we finished our first day in DR. Now it was off to the hotel for dinner and prep for tomorrow. Day 2 would begin in the countryside with Peter, Ken, and Darren.
I'm just going to come in here, I'm just going to help in her lower back. Have her breathe out and relax.
I guess some of the biggest things I'm taking from this trip, unfortunately, a lot of the results of the adjustments we're giving here, I don't know if we're going to see that in the short time we're here. Big things is seeing all the kids. Sometimes you're adjusting a child, and you know they look like they're angry, you know, and then they live in a lot of poverty down here. And you adjust them, and all of a sudden it's like the light comes on inside of them, a big smile on their face. You know, they're giving you hugs, grabbing your arm. And my thing is, you know, what's that person going to do now? And so that's probably the biggest thing. And then children will come and grab you by the arm if they didn't get adjusted, and just, you know, even though our interpreters can't really explain it, what's happening, they seem to understand it, and to me that's huge. I wish people back in North America could even grasp a little bit of this, you know, with all the information they have.
On the second day, Brian, Kelly, and Mike continued working in the urban areas while Darren, Peter, and Ken were making their ways through the rural areas. They were en route to a small local clinic where word had already spread of the arrival of the chiropracticos. Once again, the IDDI staff proved irreplaceable as the locals could speak very little English and the doctors spoke very little Spanish.
And chiropractical, you know.
We need 2. Yeah, I'll take 2 just in case they can't find them there.
I think we have chairs over there, but
I'm down here in the Dominican Republic because I've had the opportunity with Chiropractors Without Borders to be a group of fantastic doctors to come down and adjust the people in the Dominican and really just get into the areas of the community where they really have no health care whatsoever, and this is often the only health care that they have is to have chiropractic to help improve their state of health.
Do you have a greater purpose in life, kind of bigger mission other than just in your own community?
Well, one of my goals and purposes in life is really to spread chiropractic as best as we can around the world. There's so many communities that have never heard of chiropractic and have no idea the tremendous benefits they can get from being adjusted. So this is a chance where we can come down here and spread what chiropractic is and plant the seed for chiropractic in these communities for future groups to come down as well and just continue on the work we're trying to get started down here.